All right, guys, today I'm going to show you how to replace the battery, the original battery, in a Gravely ZTHD Z or ZX model Gravely's. So they come with a small battery in them, as you'll see here. That is a factory battery. So as you can see, it is a small battery. It's not a U1 battery. But as you can see on that sticker right there, it is replaced by a U1 size battery. So I'm going to show you how to replace this because it is a little challenging, not going to lie. We get a lot of questions about this. All right, so first thing we're going to do is disconnect the negative terminal and the positive terminals on the original battery here. So black is negative, red is positive. Pretty easy, right? There are some straps here that are very tight, and I'll show you where those bolts are. They are, let's grab a light. They are right there and way over here. They're studs that stick down off those brackets. So you want to loosen those, but I never take them off. I always like to loosen them down to the end of the threads. There's not much thread there, but I just loosen them down to the end of the threads, and then we move forward. Okay, so I got my cables taken off. I'm gonna go ahead and take these bolts loose with my handy dandy ratchet here. Don't have to hold the top because they're a welded stud. Let's see if I can get a good angle of that one. Just a little bit farther over there. There it is. And like I said, you don't want to take them all the way off. That becomes a little bit harder of a project then. There we go. Just to the end of the threads on both of them here. So there's not any studs sticking out now. Okay, so now we got these two brackets loose from underneath. And we're gonna take this top bracket off, which is just slotted. And guys, I'm just gonna warn you, this is not an easy job, but you can do it. So these two little slots sit into these side brackets, I'll show you. So there's the lower slots there for the original battery, and there's some taller slots for the new battery. So now these are loose and bouncing around and everything, but now we can pull the old battery out. We're gonna clean that grass and junk out of there. And I'm gonna show you why it's so important to get the battery tightened down properly. So if you look right there, that is the transmission fan. It will eat the new battery. And then you have battery acid everywhere and a junk battery that you just bought. So step number one is making sure you get it tight. So we'll show you next how to get the new one in there. All right, I'm gonna show you one other little trick. So as you can see, this is a very tight area for the new battery. This fuel tank has one bolt holding this bracket down. It is right there. If I can get to it here. Oh, there's the wiring in the way. There we go. So there's one 9/16 headed bolt holding that whole strap on there for the fuel tank. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen that so I can shove the fuel tank over just a little bit. So I got that loose now. And it's not much, it's just enough. So we're gonna shove that fuel tank over just slightly that way. And sometimes I'll take a pry bar and maybe just push it over a little bit, but that gives us just a hair more room to get this battery and bracket back in when it comes time. All right, a few things here now with the new battery. We got it ready to go. We use these Continental batteries, but the big thing you want to look at when you're buying a battery for your new Gravely or for your Gravely to replace the original is the top. Some batteries come with these caps right here to refill the battery. It's usually a cheaper battery, but you want the smooth top battery. The ones with the caps will not allow you to get this bracket on. So see how that sits nice and pretty right there? That is the battery you're looking for, something with a smooth top. It doesn't have to have the handle and everything, but whatever you get, it needs to have a smooth top. They unfortunately make a lot of different kinds of U1 batteries. Now the other thing is, U1 R350 is what we put in all of our batteries, and sometimes a 450 cranking amp battery. If you go any smaller than that, you might not have problems for a little while, but you might have problems within the first year, and it's only the battery's fault. When you have a twin cylinder engine, you want to make sure you get 350 or more cranking amps. Just a recommendation, you can do what you want, but I've had very bad results with getting lower cranking amp batteries. So get yourself a good battery when you're putting this in. You don't want to do it more than you have to. All right, and now it's time for the hard part. First of all, we're going to slide these two brackets over, and they're going to keep wanting to do that. That's okay. We're going to push that one over like that, slide it down in there, and push it all the way forward. The terminals need to be facing the rear of the tractor. It honestly does not matter whether you get a right or left battery on this one, because the cables are long enough to do either. You can pull that negative there, pull that one there, you're fine. Okay, now this is the hard part right here. Hooking these back up on here. We're gonna leave the cables undone for now. We're gonna pick a side. We're gonna latch that in there. Okay, we got one side. I'm gonna grab a screwdriver probably here. A big screwdriver or some kind of pry bar. We're gonna go ahead and push that gas tank over a little bit more. All right, got just enough room. And again, guys, I'm not saying this is the easiest thing in the world, but that's why I'm showing you how to do it, because I know you can. I just gotta help you a little bit. So, got it kind of in there. I'm gonna pry it up a little bit to get it in that groove. Right there. And if you see, it slid right onto that bracket, right? Make sure the battery's all the way back again, because otherwise it'll hit that fan we talked about. And it's back, it's firm, it's in the slots. And now I'm gonna go ahead and tighten up underneath. Now when you're tightening underneath here, I'm using this power ratchet, but you can just use a regular ratchet. Don't go crazy on tightening it. So see how it'll lift that back bracket up. Okay, so it's tightening there, tightening there. That's all we need. It's not a head bolt on a diesel. It's plenty firm in there. It ain't going anywhere. And honestly, even if it came loose, it's gonna stay in those slots, and there's a little tab there that's gonna keep it from moving back. So biggest thing is to get it snug. You do not need to over tighten it. Then all we gotta do is hook up our battery cables, put that seat back in the tank there, and we are ready to rock. Always do the positive cable first. And yes, I'm using a powered ratchet. Love this thing. Thank you, Milwaukee, for building a good tool. And maybe a left-hand positive would have been better on this one. This cable's a little bit tight, but it's gonna work just fine, see? It just looped that red cable around a little farther than I like, but it's gonna be okay. But this is by far one of the worst problems you're gonna have with a Gravely. We get more questions about batteries than we get anything else. This is gonna be the only problem you're gonna have with your Gravely if I were to bet. So, gotta take my seat bolt up, or my fuel tank bolt up. A lot of people want to say you gotta take the seats off, which isn't worth it. It's harder than it is worth it, I think. I'm gonna push that fuel tank back over just a hair, get it where I like it, because I don't want it to hit any of that brake arm stuff there. All right, fuel tank's tight. Fuel tank's tight, battery's tight. That's all you gotta do. Yeah, some people say you gotta take these pins out, take this seat off. It slides right in there, no problem. I don't see why you have to take the seat off. Might give you a little more room, I guess, but as you can see, I did not need it there. So that is how you replace the battery on a Gravely HD, Z, or ZX. The HD is the one that comes with that small battery, like this one. So I have not found these batteries, and I think when I did, they were double or more the price of the normal battery. So don't need these little guys. Replace it with the normal size. You guys are good to go. Hope this helps. We're gonna send this to all our customers, but I hope every Gravely customer that ever needs to replace a battery sees this to try and make it a little easier for you guys. Thanks for watching.